Do victims actually exist? Are we complicit in our own demise and our own suffering and our own challenges? I was going to just say that victims don't exist because I saw that there's like the war is that people are blowing each other up like they always are. Dumb monkey worms. Anyway, um, do I want that narrative to be what it is? I don't know. I do know. I don't mind that people just do what they do because I don't care. I didn't make them, but uh, I'm more interested in people that are awake and ready to create a world that works. We're not here to save the world as apex humans, as apex Christians. We are here to create a world that works. A world that works. A world that works. So, God bless it. So, does victimhood exist? Um, do victims exist? Are they real? I don't think so. All of us are complicit in our own demise in some way, shape, or another, right? We all come into this world and we create reality. Everybody wants to like invoke the innocent child, right? If any of you have ever had children or worked with children or lived with children or taught children, you know children are not as innocent as we as adults try to pretend that they are. Children are intelligent. They are very evolutionary. They are winners. They are animals. And they are old people in tiny bodies that don't know how to talk. That's all they are. And look, if I took you and bound you and didn't let you walk for like a year, and then prevented you from talking, and then put you in a culture where you didn't speak their language, and carried you around everywhere, and ignored you every time you cried out for food or had to use the bathroom and things like that, you would forget a lot of things. You would be traumatized by the experience. That's what every child experiences. If babies could speak their full language the moment they came out of their mothers, you'd be blown away by what they would say and who they are. So children are not as innocent and stupid as the narrative society has placed them in. They are much more intelligent and powerful and brilliant and divine. And there's this, that's why I love seeing them. We're talking about under the age of 5. There's a divine spark in them. When you look at them, every once in a while they look at you with their big, bright little eyes. And there was an oxymoron if they ever had one, big, bright little eyes. But they look up at you, and there's a spark of divinity inside of them that is gone from adults. I mean, most adults, as far as I'm concerned, they don't have souls. Like I look at adults, especially females, um, men, I guess for the most part, there's something there. I mean, and there's older women, yes, they have that spark again, but like there's this period of life, I would say, from the early adolescence until about middle adulthood, where they're like, it's almost like the soul just leaves. It just goes off into the ether somewhere. Children have souls, old people have them. A couple of people scattered and splattered in between, but I would say most adults that I've encountered don't have them. And that's, I think, directly linked to the stories that we tell ourselves. Of course, I'm redoing the video I just did, but I'm saying it again. This is like there are no victims. Hello, Lowell. Welcome. But I've noticed that most adults don't have souls. Um, Whenever I go to like another country or I go to like a school, foreign people in other places, I think generally do. They have the spark in their eyes. There's like something there. But it's usually, there are a lot of poverty in those places. Um, but I found at very high level people too, like people that run businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses that I met, people like that, they have a little bit of that too, the spark. But children have it, animals have it, obviously. Um, Plants have it, even though they don't have eyes. And older adults and small children have it. But adults, I found, don't have a soul. You look in their eyes and it's just like vacuous. There's nothing there. You look in their eyes and it's just like a excuse me, like a friggin' body snatcher victim. And it's just what it is. Um, so there is really no ultimate victimhood in the world, again, and I know that people always try to invoke children. They'll say, oh, there's children being bombed in other countries, you know unfortunately, but They came here knowing what they were getting into. How could you say that? Well, read the Old Testament and the New Testament. They knew that people came here well aware of what they were going to face, and that this whole life is crafted by you and the Most High God. You work together to create this thing we call life. And you come here and you say, okay, at age 22, at age 18, at age 16, I'm just going to turn the lights off. I'm just going to be dead for like 30, 40, 50, 80, 90 years until I actually die, or until I have a life-changing circumstance that wakes me up. My wife dies, my kid dies in something, whatever, right? Or my whatever, right? There are people that wait until a traumatic event happens in their life, and then they wake up. They say, okay, I guess I'm going to come home here. I guess I'm going to turn the lights on. I mean, or, I'm going to come home. The lights are on, but no one's home. So are there victims in the world? According to Apex Humanity, according to the Bible and Apex Christianity, no, not one. Galatians 6:7, be not deceived, for God is not mocked, for whatsoever man sows, that shall he reap. And people say, man, you're talking about an adult. Yeah, I'm talking about an adult. But we're talking about spiritually mature souls here. And if you're here on the earth plane, if you're here in earth reality, you're mature. You're a warrior. You're a very powerful being. So a lot of people come here and they just turn the lights on and they just go to sleep. Okay, I'm on earth. Sleep with your eyes open. I've seen people do it. So I just wanted to put this video out because it was there. It was supposed to go out a couple days ago. In the next video, we want to talk about how Satan gets into heaven. Satan will be redeemed at the end of time. At least that's what Christians believe, for 500 years from Jesus until about the Fifth Ecumenical Council in 553, for the nerds out there. But up until about 553, Christians believed that Satan was going to be redeemed. A lot of them did. There were some that didn't, obviously. That's why it changed. But a lot of people believe that Satan was going to be in heaven with God, next to him on the throne. Well, not next to him, but up in there, right? And so my question to you before I leave is, when you get to heaven, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to go to heaven. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you are. So when you get to heaven and you see Hitler and then Genghis Khan and then Obama bin Laden or Osama bin Laden and what was that? Sam, the guy that killed all those people, and then the guy that ate those people. Anyway, crazy, weird, nasty people. You see them there in heaven. Are you going to think you're in the wrong place? We're going to talk about it in the next video. Make sure you stay tuned. The next one is going to be called, what should we call it? Will Satan be in heaven? Yeah. All right. Make sure you get your copy of Hey God, Wake the Fuck Up. Bible wisdom you're not supposed to know about real life and the real you. This is Bible wisdom that you're not supposed to know. Your pastor just prays to Jesus Christ every night before he goes to bed and tucks himself in. He prays that you never read this. Your church community, your entire church organization is praying. Say, Jesus, satanic Jesus, can you please make sure that our members never read this book? Because obviously the real Jesus is like, you guys should probably read this book. At least that's the real Jesus told me. But make sure you get your copy of Hey God, Wake the Fuck Up. Real Bible wisdom about the real life. This is Bible wisdom you're not supposed to know about real life and the real you. Beautiful gems like life is eternal, even if our human experience is not. Talks about spirituality in a mature sense. As a noisy truck comes by. It also talks about sexuality in the divine sense. So make sure you get your copy, guys. See you in the next video. Stay Apex.